Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Tuesday Craft Day. Well, today we're going to start a new series. We did some Christmas ornaments and now we're going to work on some Christmas cards. And I probably will do three, maybe even four videos between now and the holidays, sharing with you some techniques and just making some fun Christmas cards. Some of them will be done with the Cricut. The ones I'm doing today will be done with the Cricut. For those of you who have a Cricut, you can see how easy it is to design a card, and then you can make them en masse because you just keep saying duplicate. If you don't have a Cricut and don't intend to get a Cricut, I will be doing several cards that don't require any machines like a Cricut at all. And so I will start off with two Cricut cards today. It might be a little long. I'm going to try to speed through the Cricut part as fast as possible, but I want to just make sure that you get the understanding of how you can use that program, the Cricut Access program, to design a card. Now, before we get started, I want to tell you that I generate on the computer the insides of my card. Now, I have a Hallmark card program which allows me to line it up according to the front, the back, and so on of my card, and it prints out like this. I don't know if you can see it, okay? You see it's on here and here. Now, when I cut this paper in half like this will make two cards when they're folded. So it's very easy. I don't have to worry about all of the different stamps. I have hundreds of stamps. But I find if I'm going to be making a large group of cards, and I can put different fronts on them and have the insides all say the same thing. I have two different cards today with two different insides. So if you don't have a card program, you can still do it just in your Word program on the computer. And you could make little blocks and put your sayings in it, and then just cut them out, trim them down to fit on the inside of a folded card. All of the cards I'm making are called A2 size. That means that the finished product is 4¼ by 5½. And so without further ado, let's get busy on the Cricut because it will take a little while to get two cards designed. Be right back. Okay, here we are in Design Space, and I'm going to open a new project, and I'm going to change the color of my mat to a light blue. I think you can see it better. And I'm going to start off by putting in a shape, and I always do that when I make a card because that gives me the size that I'm going to be needing to make my components. This is a square. I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to make it 4.25 wide and 5.5 tall. That is an A2 size card, and I'm going to change that to white. So here is my card base. Now we won't cut this out. When we go to cut out, we will get rid of this. So now I'm going to start by putting in images. And I'm going to start by finding a Santa. And there's a lot of really cute Santas in this program. And you can see a lot of them here. Traditional looking ones, caricature ones. And this is the one I'm going to go for today. Okay, and you can see Santa is checking his list. So I'm going to get another image because I need something to put Santa on, and I'm just going to write shape. And I'm doing this with one hand, that's why, whoops. There we go. And I want to look for a nice shape to go on that card. This is a good one here. But I think I want it to go tall wise, so I'm just going to turn it around. And you see this little curly Q thing here tells you can turn it left or right. Now, this one is going to be green, so I'm going to make it green here so I can see. And I'm going to put it over here in the card, and I'm going to get it to a size that works well on this card. And that looks pretty good right there. Now I'm going to duplicate it. And I am going to make this one white, because this is the one Santa Claus will get on. Now I'm going to take these off of the card for a minute because I'm going to put one on top of the other. And I want to make sure I get a good sizing. Now I'm going to go these two just for the heck of it, and I'm going to do a line center horizontally and a line center vertically. So that is perfectly centered inside the green one, and it shows that we do have a nice little border around it. Okay, now we don't need that anymore together, so I'm going to ungroup it, and at least I thought I was going to ungroup it. There we go. And I'm going to put this one back over here. And I will set this one on the top of it. And it doesn't really make too much difference right now. Now I need to put Santa, and I'm going to arrange him, move him to the front. And I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. That looks pretty good. Now I need some words, and so I'm going to do some text. Now what I'm going to do here, okay, I'm not going to worry about the green one anymore because I'm only sizing the Santa and the words to the white one. So I'm going to get rid of this. This is all set, the green. And now I'm going to do text. And I'm going to do checking it twice. All right, I'm going to align it, and I'm going to say center, so it'll be centered. And I'm going to change the font on this. I want a single layer. That one looks all right. So now I'm going to bring it up here. And when you go to move one of these, you're going to make sure you're right on one of the letters or it won't move it. And let's put Santa back over there, just for sizing. And that's going to be a little smaller. That looks good right there. All right, we'll move Santa off because he's going to cut out all by itself. If you look over to the right, you'll see that Santa Claus says print and cut. The white label says cut, and the C, meaning the words, say cut. I don't want that. I want these words to print on this label. So I am going to highlight the words. There we go. and then highlight the label, and I'm going to group it. So now it's one piece. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom, and I'm going to hit the word flatten. Now what that means is this is all one piece, and this will print on this white label. You see up here it says cut print, and you can't really see it, but there is a little teeny, you can see the words are up there. So this green label will cut out, the Santa will print and cut, and the white label will print and cut. And see, then that's going to go over here, and that's going to go up here. We'll move them to the front. And there you go. Because I haven't got the white one quite centered on there, but that looks good. That looks nice. Okay, so let's hit make it. Now what you're going to see here, it looks as if you have Santa, and then you have the words checking it twice, but you don't see anything else. That shape is there. It's just that it's on a white piece of cardstock and it's a white shape, so it doesn't show up here. So the next thing I'm going to do is go down to the right and say continue. And it's going to tell me to send it to the printer. I shall do that. Except I forgot to load cardstock in my printer. Hold on one second. Send to printer. My machine is not on. That's why the red words came up there. I'll put it on in just a minute. And now it says print. Now it says add bleed, in case you don't know what that means. The bleed is so that the machine, when it cuts it, has the tiniest little edge that doesn't get cut, and it makes a clean cut where the entire image is part of the cut. So let's just print this. Thinking. Okay. Now I'm going to go and start my machine, and I will meet you over there in a minute, and we'll watch this cut. We're going to cut this one, then we're going to cut the green label. Okay? But we'll start with this one. It's still printing. Okay, here I am back in the Cricut design space, and you can see that, let me get my blue sheet out here again. Okay, you can see I've already got the front of this card designed. Very cute. I'm going to show you how I got there. Now that you've seen it done once, you probably will understand. I'm going to start with my shape. I didn't mean text, I meant shape. Now I'm going to duplicate this shape a couple of times. I don't know if I need all of those, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to start by making this my A2 size card, which is 4.25. I'm sorry, I have to change my glasses because I can't see the computer screen. And then the height is 5.5. Okay, and we're going to make this one white. And so now we know what we're starting to work with. Okay, so I'm going to have a mat put on this card. And you know what I'm going to do? Because I've already made rectangle out of that one, I'm going to duplicate this one. Okay. Now I'm going to put a mat. So this mat will be just a little bit smaller and will fit right inside that card. So if this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, this is like 4 by 5.25. Okay. I will cut that mat. I won't have the machine print it. And then I'm going to take another one. I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to put this like a piece going across. And I'm not cutting these out, you understand. I'm using this to design it. Then this is the piece I'm going to use to create my front. So I want to see how big I'm going to make it. And I can measure it with this one. Okay, so this is what I'm going to make for the front, and I'm going to send it to the front. So that's how my card is going to look. Okay, so now I need to get this piece on it. So I'm going to go to images, and we're going to do, well, I've got the ho, ho, ho. I'll get that out there. Okay, we'll put that over here. And another one, I need Santa. Whoops, got to get rid of the ho, ho. And I need the Santa that's going to be holding all those presents up. Here he is. Okay. And, oh, I could probably put him right over here now. And he's got to be a little smaller, so I have room to put some presents on top. Now I'm going to do images, and I'm going to say presents. All right, we're going to use some of these down here because they're already red and green. I think I'll use this one, oh, and maybe this one. They're not the same three as I just did there, but that's okay. So let's start with the green one. And we're going to just put it big enough so Santa can hold on to it. And now we'll start with the red one that's almost going to tip off the side. And we'll do the other red one. Whoop. It's almost going to tip off the other side. And we'll move this down a little bit. Make it smaller because it's all going to fit on this white sheet here. And that one I'm going to bring to the front. Okay. No, I don't like those too much. I want to get these all a little smaller. This one. Okay. And then this one. There we go. Now, it's all separate pieces, so I'm going to start grouping them. I'm going to start with Santa and pick the green present. And up to the right, hit group. And then I'm going to, now that's one piece. So I'm going to do this one and get the next present. You can only do two things at once. No, I want this present. There we go. And the Santa. And I'll group it. And now I'll take this present and the Santa and group it. So now they're all grouped together. Now I want them to print. So I'm going down to the bottom right-hand side and I'm going to hit the word flatten. And that means that these are all grouped together and they're going to print. So I'm going to move him over to the side a little bit. And this ho, 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 I'm going to make red. And then I'm going to put this down here. And I'm going to do that. Hold down my shift key and get the big square. And I'm going, no, I want the big, I don't want that square. I want this square. This one. There we go. No, I want this one. Oh, it went backwards. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, because I don't want to get confused, is just get rid of all of this. Okay? So I should have the ho, ho, ho is grouped. Now I need to group the Santa. Now they're all grouped, okay? Now I want one more thing, and that is a Merry Christmas. And there was a pretty green one, I think. There it is right here. And I'm just going to bring it over, and I'm going to move it up here and put it down, and it goes right over the top of those presents, but that's just fine. It's going to be printed. So now I need to get the Merry Christmas, hold down the shift, and get the rest of it in. Now the last thing I'm going to do is flatten it. Now I should have, this is going to print just like this, and this is going to print just like this. And they're not exactly the same, but they're close enough. So the next thing you do is hit make it. And there you go. There's two of them. They're going to print. So I'm going to have to send it to the printer first. So I'll hit continue. And it'll say send to the printer. So I shall send it to the printer. And we'll cut it out and come back here and put the card together. Okay, here's one of my blanks that I made, and you see it actually creates the whole card. This is the inside. I'm going to score this at 4 1/4, and I really should have scored it the other way, but I will turn it over and do it again. There you go. I'm using a bone folder to get a nice crisp edge. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to put a little piece of this plaid on here. And I'm going to make it the exact same length as the card. So that is 5 1/2. Okay. And I think I'll make it about 1 1/2. And that's just out of a Christmas pack. I'm using glitter glue. It's a very good glue. I could be using my ATG. Now I'm lining this right up with the folded edge. Okay, so now we'll start with our two pieces, see? And I'm going to put those two together. And then for Santa Claus, I didn't get it out, but I will now. I'm going to use some foam tape. This will make him a little bit, it'll make him stand out a little bit, but it won't be so bad that you have to pay extra for postage. Because you know, if you get things too puffy, they charge you extra for postage. And one more. Whoop! It's alive, it's alive. Here we go. And this double-sided foam tape you can get in any craft store, or actually in a hardware store. And let me just position him good here so we don't block any words. Alright, now we'll add a little glue to the back of this. And there you go. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Checking it twice. Were you naughty or nice? Now, I have this little piece of plaid that I cut off the bottom. So what I think I'll do is just add it in here, and it will give me a little coordination on the inside. There you go. And here's what I made earlier. They look great. I love them. Okay, I have got my white card base, my green mat. I've got these little stockings that will go across, but I want to put a little mat on the stockings, so I'm gluing them to a piece of red cardstock, leaving just a little border around two of the sides here. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my cutter, and I can see by the wire in the cutter where I want to cut. To give me the border that I want. And there you go. See? So it doesn't really, you don't have to measure it. You just put it on whatever you're going to use for a border and cut a little border around it. There you go. So we'll put that over to the side, and we'll start with this, and start by getting this green piece on. Now I will tell you, when you generate the insides of your cards, there's one thing you've got to be aware of at all times, and that's the orientation of the inside, because I've been known to put a card together upside down, which is frustrating. And now I'm going to take one of my stripes, get my socks, hit it in the right direction, and now I have my ho ho ho, but I am going to give him a little bit of a something something too. Let me see, I can just use this piece, I think. And I'll put it right down here. Fits good there, I just have to trim the top. Okay. And I think before let me see here. No, I don't know what I did with my twine bucket, so I'm not going to worry about it. I do see that there's a tiniest bit hanging over here. So what I'm going to just do is go over to the back of the card and snip it off. Here we go. I didn't measure, you remember I made that original red piece the same width as the whole card, so Here we go. And there you go. There's one card. Whoops, sitting on the scissors. And it's going in the right direction. All right, I might get some twine and just put a little bow at the top or something. So that's one card, and we'll put together the other one. Just a minute. Be right back. So how easy was that? Now, of course, this time we let the machine do some designing for us. And the next cards I make, a couple of them, I have another one I'm going to make on the Cricut, or maybe more on the Cricut. I might do a Cricut series. But then I have some we can make with just pretty papers. And I picked up this one from Michael's. And these are double-sided. That's a pretty plaid. And what's good about these, as I'll show you in a minute, if you don't have any stamps, there are some sentiments that you can cut out and use, especially right here, little tags that you can cut out and use as the sentiment on the front of the card. That's pretty. This is a Recollections. Look pretty with all the packages. Oh, it wouldn't be Christmas without a red truck. And this one has cute Holly Jolly, Merry and Bright. There's some beautiful front of the cards. And these are just different elements that you could cut around and place on a card. Or if you're using, for instance, let's say you put this on the front of the card, Hello Winter. Then you could put this on the inside to coordinate it. Sorry, the snowman. Alright, so that's my card for today. I could make some more. I'm going to be making some more right now, actually. But I don't want to make this video too long. So I will be back very soon with another card video. Maybe even tomorrow. We'll see you later. Until then, get yourself a block of paper and some white cardstock. And, oh, maybe some ribbons or something. Anything sparkly is always good for Christmas. And we'll meet again and make some more Christmas cards. Until then, everybody stay safe, play by the rules, keep your distance, wear your mask, and everybody play nice now. I'll see you later. Love you, bye.